Oh, welcome to the Shootnami, the show that is coming to you live from a new studio
called our basement.
Our new basement in a different part of the world. And last week, we're the show that was on location. If you're one of the followers of our Instagram page, you would know that we were in attendance for WWE's first trip to United Center in over 30 years. We were at the Elimination Chamber. We entered the chamber and then exited with tons of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to share some of those a week late. And the reason why is a bit intentional because when we were in the concourse on the way out, after having seen the post-show shenanigans, we saw that Cody had been shoehorned into the main event of SmackDown to determine the WWE Undisputed Championship.
Like in a really aggressive, weird,
incredibly ham-fisted way.
Ham-fisted is the best word for it.
Yeah.
Just really bad. Really bad.
So because that was the case, I envisioned the post-chamber show being also more of a road to WrestleMania assessment, I guess, a midterm, if you will. How we are with the booking at this point, how we feel in terms of how everything is being built. WrestleMania ticket sales are a big topic of discussion in the internet wrestling community right now. And there's a big debate on how much of that is based on the card. And while those things can be conflating sometimes, I also think that the card does matter in some respects. So I definitely wanted to have that kind of chamber post-show slash let's talk about where we're going for Mania. And we're going to be doing that, but we had to wait a week because we had to make sure that we knew what that WWE Undisputed title matchup would be, which now we do. We know that Cody got his belt back and that he's going to be taking on Randy Orton probably in the night one main event, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it seems like a really big SmackDown main event. You know, they have 5 or 6 weeks to get me there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why you couldn't do this with Drew. You could do it cleaner because you would have a distinct babyface and heel dynamic. Maybe the fact that they're entering as faces at this point suggests that someone is going to turn. There's the Sami Zayn of it all as well, but that also feels
wrong,
ad hoc and wrong. I was completely fine with Drew and Randy at the end of Elimination Chamber. People said that they were really surprised by Randy winning Elimination Chamber. For me, honestly, it was either going to be Cody or Randy in that role.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they made the right choice. Because if you want him to at least challenge for the mark of 17 world titles with John Cena, he's at 14 right now. So I think you kind of have to start putting those wheels in motion.
Mm.
So I think it makes sense to do it here. I think people really love Randy.
I was a little disappointed with Randy, considering how much new talent there was.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I would expect anybody who
Javon or Trick or
right.
yeah.
I think if
although, hey, I mean,
Trick Williams,
it's like if you were gonna put the rocket on someone,
oh, totally,
and have it work out,
I think Trick Williams would have been a great choice to win. I don't know if him versus Drew McIntyre made a lot of sense.
It's the thing is he's getting such a great response, but it would just be so weird.
I think
it would be so weird for somebody to challenge for in a night one main event and have it be their 6th match on the main roster.
I know.
It's just you can't do it.
Yeah, you don't want him to get Jey Uso'd, right?
Right, but but it's the difference is that there's no build up to the Yeet movement. He just starts off at Yeet levels of reception. Because the thing with Jey is that what made it easier for them to justify pushing him was because he had that underdog narrative. But Trick doesn't have that. He comes in, he's just a fucking star right away.
Yeah.
And you put the belt on him. Do you really trust this guy to carry your brand? Or do you not put the belt on him and then you just have kind of this LA Knight situation?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have two minds of it because anything would be better than Cody Rhodes taking the championship back. I loved Drew McIntyre's title reign, and I wish so badly that he would have just took it to I wish he was the main event wrestler because he deserves it. He deserves it. They've fucked him over so many times and it just like bums me out because he's great. He's a great heel.
He was a
He's
transitional champion. It's unbelievable because like when you look at how he won it, it was Fatu interfering, holding Cody back. He actually falls ass backwards out of the cage
mhm,
and into the title. So it's like he has it. They gave him a little time with it, but it's like the pretense was that he's a chicken shit heel that fell ass backwards into the opportunity. And then Cody just pins him clean in a television match. So it's just such a shame because I think that if there was anybody that could give you kind of like that Roman Reigns-esque reign of terror,
mhm.
I think it would have been Drew because I think he was really great on the mic. I think he could have definitely given you kind of like the same thing that Gunther is giving Raw.
Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton and like Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes would have been fine.
Yeah.
And I think one of the best feuds I've seen Cody Rhodes in 100 years was him and Jacob Fatu because they play such good opposite sides of the wheel.
Right.
They bring the best out of each other
Right.
because of their opposite like natures. And you leave the main event to like your big giant powerhouse dudes. Like who wouldn't have loved to watch Drew and Randy Orton in a main event?
I think the prevailing thought was that like it's been done.
Cody Rhodes was done last year.
He's been done for the last 2.5
It's like
years.
just like leave it like enough.
There was this common refrain during the chamber that I noticed of a lot of excellent talent being given a showcase during the match, but then it ultimately culminating with like the safe choices. Rhea, I love.
Hmm.
I think that it's just one of those matches that is just a naturally big encounter that you
Yeah.
save for this time of year. I'm really excited about it. I think that based off of their first encounter, their first face to face promo on Friday, I think that there's a lot more depth that they can mine with that.
Well, yeah, because there's real heat there.
Right, exactly. I mean, I don't know anything about their actual
The Twitter.
Twitter beef, I guess, but like
Oh, I do.
I I hope
I
they
could
bring
replay it for you if you'd like.
I hope they bring more of that in because I think that it was a little surface level,
Yeah.
comparing muscles and
I think,
physique, and just it seems
yeah,
beneath
both of
what they
them.
were capable of, and them just in general. Yeah,
Well, and Jade is a super strong mother, whereas Rhea Ripley is young, but completely has the entire industry in her hands. Like, you could do so much with that, like,
yeah,
dichotomy.
yeah. And I think that like you said there, I think you could play with that perception. You could have Jade say, "You did have the entire industry in your hands."
Yeah.
And
Right.
I feel like that's what they were getting at in the promo. They were just choosing the wrong frame. It was her being like, your shoulders are big, but mine are bigger.
You
And
have big muscle.
it was literally a muscle. It was a muscle comparison.
Boring.
It's a,
I mean, it's cool to watch women do that because, like, normally it's a bad men promo, but like,
but mine it, you know what I mean? It's like, what are we actually saying here? And it's like, what we're
yeah.
saying here is that she's been, and they play it up too with like, this is the fourth consecutive WrestleMania where she's been wrestling for a world title.
Hmm.
She's the centerpiece jewel of the women's division. She has been for a long time since Charlotte put her over at WrestleMania 39, I think.
Hmm.
And Jade is totally someone who can be a physical superior to her and is in a lot of ways. And you could definitely tell that story of like, I am the next evolution. It's time for you to step aside and you're going to be stepping aside at WrestleMania. And they have time to do it. They'll probably get there. But again, it's like Rhea, as satisfying as it is to have that potential match or that
Hmm.
feud and the match, there were a lot of people that we loved during that women's match. I think, Kiana James was one of them that continues to impress us, even though, the fans are just like, no, you're not getting over with us at
Mhm.
all. And I think she's still giving it her all. I think that's one of the things that's most impressive about a performer is when they continue to have a consistent level that they reach, in spite
Mhm.
of the fact that they're not getting the reaction. I was glad to see that it wasn't just us, but there were like a pocket of fans for her. So I feel like with a little bit better presentation
Mhm.
and a little bit better positioning, like maybe just break up the Julia thing and just have them like feud with one another.
Oh, but, like, we were talking about the other day, like, when they had the now that we have a Lash Legend Nia Jax tag team championship.
Yeah. And the marks are mad about it.
Oh my
And
god.
I love it.
Whatever. Whatever to
Keep
that.
keep putting Lash over.
Dude, put Lash over forever, and Nia Jax and Lash together, it's like anybody in the ring looks microscopic.
After Mania, like they if there's one thing that desperately needs a reshuffle, it's like that women's tag division and not just that, but like you need to like create more teams. Like honestly, I was pretty surprised to see that AEW has kind of surpassed them
Oh, women's
in
tag
in the
team?
division. Yeah, like they're adding new teams, and I feel like as much as we get on Julia Hart and Sky Blue and everything, I feel like they've kind of found their comfort zone and in that role and in that duo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's done something nice for them. I feel like
Mhm.
they've come out of it a little bit bigger of stars than they were prior to it. So like that booking on that side is working. But this is just a straight dead end. So it's just like they really need to have that just like draft shakeup to
Yeah.
because you need someone to be able to put against those two. And maybe for now, like you can get away with just having them be just unbeatable because you want to
Yeah.
build up that mythos.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what you do because Lash Legend is probably at just the beginning of, like,
Right.
what
You can
she's
feed them a lot of teams, but eventually you've got to give them someone that they can actually dance with.
well, maybe what'll happen is Jade will lose against Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair will come back,
Hmm.
and then we will have a tag team that actually can give them a run for their
That
money.
might be fun.
But then Naomi's gonna come back,
Yeah.
and you can't have them completely out for that to continue because they're gonna have to end that story.
Yeah. You would hope so. Maybe they're just like, no, we don't.
No, we don't, dude. She had a baby.
Right.
She's
We
out.
just wrote all that off.
Ugh, I
Right
know.
off.
I actually read somewhere that Jade, the original plan for her WrestleMania was she was gonna have a choice of who her opponent was, and that was gonna be the choice between Naomi and Bianca.
Okay.
And if Bianca hadn't got injured and Naomi didn't have a baby, she would have had that as like her options. But I think I actually really like,
So Jade would have been the champion, and she would have been able to choose, as opposed to like
yeah.
the winner of the Rumble, or the Chamber choosing her.
Or I guess maybe the winner of the Rumble would be inclusive of
One of
those
those two,
2,
yeah.
because they
Double elimination, Naomi and Bianca at the same time.
crazy.
4 feet hit the floor at the same time.
I miss them.
Yeah,
I miss them.
yeah.
I miss Naomi specifically, but I know you miss Bianca specifically.
I mean, just really the whole tandem. Like I feel like the story between the three of them and the betrayal was very drawn out. Um, and we criticized it at the time for that. But now that only Jade is in the equation and it's been kind of left dangling,
Yeah.
it does make you miss it.
Yeah. Well, and they were so wonderful as a trio. Like,
Especially when you see like all of the stories, quote unquote, that are happening now that are
yeah.
basically just like remedial CYA booking.
Yeah.
Getting back to like just what we really enjoyed from the chamber, I think one name that we really should say, because you would probably agree that it was the best she's ever looked, was Raquel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She
Raquel
was
Roman Reigns Rodriguez with the double stack pin that I haven't seen since Roman did that against Daniel Bryan and Edge.
I cannot even believe what she looked like live. She even made Rhea look kinda, like, not I mean, Rhea always looks great, but they're sitting there live, like, Raquel was the winner.
It was jarring to see her because I believe that Raquel and Kiana are, like, bigger than she is.
Yeah.
So, when you pair that with just, like, the fact that they're, you know, meeting her skill-wise and work-wise,
Mhm.
um, that's kinda what I say when I talk about, like, the safe option, where it's, like, in terms of, they are clearly booking to put the most asses in seats for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
But if we're really talking about like a meritocracy on that night,
Yeah.
you know, there were a lot of people that shined
Yeah.
and a lot of people that, Alexa Bliss is another one too, where it's like she is mostly in the cut a lot of times with us in terms of we're not thinking a lot, or at least I'm not spending a lot of time thinking about the booking of Alexa Bliss. But being in the building, hearing the pop, hearing the music, seeing the entrance, seeing the work live, it's so evident to me why she is such a reliable piece for them and why they
Mhm.
were so glad to bring her back after her extended absence.
Yeah, I definitely like my understanding of why she is important to the company started at Elimination Chamber because I've always been very like critical of her shtick because it would be nice to see some evolution after such a long time of like kind of what she does and what she's done.
Yeah, she's paying homage to Bray Wyatt, but also so are like six other people at the company.
Right. And they're unaffiliated. So we have like a lot of
What is that about? Like, when are we gonna get the
well,
Spider-Man moment of just like, hey, we're both doing the same thing?
and that's the thing. It's like
You were super close to my brother. Do you want to like come
yeah,
join the Wyatt Six and actually make it six?
no, she doesn't because
Right.
not gonna
So weird, right?
she's not gonna go mid card on SmackDown. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, I think with
More
Alexa,
mid card.
that's the thing is like I just want to see her do something evolved from the character that
Yeah.
pays homage to Bray Wyatt because she's a great wrestler. She has a great entrance.
Yeah.
Like, just do something a little different with like your character,
Yeah.
And that's always been my complaint. But not that she's small or that she's, none of that. Like I see why she's valuable, but I think I just want to see something new. And I think we're leading to that because we're watching her get like kind of irritated with Charlotte, which is sad because I love Charlotte Flair and I know that they're going to break them up soon and we're both like already like pacing ourselves for the
Yeah.
heartbreak.
Surely because they just don't know what else to do with them. And it's just like that's creative bankruptcy. That's not like,
Well, I know what I want to happen is I want both her and I want Charlotte to get broken up with by Alexa Bliss and then I want Kiana to be broken up with by Julia or vice versa.
you want
Kiana to break up with
the
Julia
wife swap.
and then wife swap so that Charlotte and Kiana can go against Lash and Nia Jax for like an incredible match.
I love how the common refrain in your booking strategy is like put the big ladies together.
Put them all together. I just think that I can't watch Alexa Bliss try to give a Sister Abigail to like Nia Jax. Like it just
Yeah.
it just doesn't work, dude. Like
And you know what?
I love
I'm putting a
everybody.
little bit of that on Nia too. I think that Nia
Oh, totally.
understands.
But it's harder to be Nia Jax than I feel like as somebody who has like a bowling ball in their body right now, like not to be like I understand Nia Jax because we're both bigger ladies because it's a very different thing to be pregnant than to be a large woman, but like it's hard to control your body. Like it's hard to
Right.
like if this little thing is putting you on their
Well, how about this? Let's not compare. Let's
yeah.
just put yourself in the body and role of Nia Jax. And I came to you and I said, "Hey, I feel like it's a really good idea if I do a Hurricane Rana on you tonight."
Yeah.
You're probably, I would imagine, be like, "No, let's find a way that actually doesn't one doesn't put me in danger, and two actually like makes sense."
Yeah.
Why would you be able? You're less than 170 pounds. Like, why would you be able to actually like pull off that move? I mean,
Well,
she's I really appreciate Nia's like ambition when it comes to just like trying to do different spots and trying to like, perform against type and everything. I don't think it pays dividends for her. And I just feel like maybe with her being paired with Lash Legend, they will have more of that kind of like dominating, towering duo kind of work as opposed to just like, oh, let Io Sky come in and do like a meteor on me or something like that.
I did think Io Sky, just to put a point on like body size isn't completely everything, is like Io Sky did a great job with Nia Jax, I thought.
You
Like
know,
I think it's
but
possible.
that's Io Sky though,
But it takes like an Io Sky to do that,
right?
So it's like I think that's why, going back to our conversation about like the tag team divisions being kind of stuck, it's like you can't always have like Io Sky after Io Sky come in and fight them. Like
Well, I'll tell you what, like, and that might be a good segue to kind of the remainder of the card because we haven't even gotten to like Chicago's first couple. Um,
oh
I
God,
feel like
yeah.
the women's division, you can really start to shake it loose once you break apart AJ and Becky,
Mhm.
which I don't think is going to happen until after Mania. But I definitely think that those are two.
Do you think they're gonna fight at Mania?
I do, I do, and I'm not happy about it.
I just we saw that match live. I would say out of every match, that might have been my least favorite.
Yeah, and not because it was bad.
Not because it was bad, because the card was so good.
Yeah,
Like, both the women's and men's chamber matches were great, and then CM Punk versus Finn Balor was amazing.
yeah, that was the match of the night. I think
And I think AJ is still not learning because she's obviously very skilled, but I think she's just out of
it's a fair assessment. It's her first singles match in 10 years.
in 10 years.
And I think for me, it wasn't so much in the building. It was fun.
Mhm.
Her winning the title in front of the home crowd, first match in 10 years. You can't help but get swept up in the excitement of it. I think the reason why I thought it was the match that I liked the least was just really thinking like long term
Mhm.
because it's pretty clear to me that AJ is not going to be there like 40 weeks out of the year.
Mhm.
She is like a every now and again type of attraction. So giving her the belts and just putting belts on those types of performers in general always makes me wary because this probably is short lived. This probably goes back on Becky at Mania because Becky is like the workhorse of the two of them.
Mhm.
And when you get ahead of the booking like that, like I feel like I am, it's almost like getting ahead of a movie. It's you tune out because you're waiting for the beat that you actually don't expect.
I think there's an elephant in the room.
Hmm.
I think there's an elephant in the writer's room, and his name is CM Punk. And I think he was like, "Put the title on AJ, bring my boy Danhausen back."
Wow,
And Triple
this is
H
a tough theory to
Triple
dispel.
Triple H is like, "I'm really busy.
Phil
That sounds good."
Hogan, Phil Hogan. Honestly, I can't tell you that you're wrong because the way that that show turned out, and we were there in the post show when he was addressing the crowd, and I mean
Oh,
that
yeah.
really was short of his return to the United Center at AEW or
Mhm.
Rampage. I don't think there's been more of a Phil Brooks showcase than Elimination Chamber. And maybe that had something to do with the fact that it was like, Chicago and it's just that's gonna be the kind of the way it always is.
Like Roman Reigns said, "You're gonna sell tickets in Chicago." But no, I mean, like, can you I was truly floored by the title coming off of Becky for AJ. Like,
Yeah.
AJ, like you said, is she's just starting up again. She's not like she's seasoned from like, being there like years and years ago, but like hasn't been there for a long time. I mean, she was there with Vince, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is a whole new era and like a whole new locker room and everything. And it's like, I don't love when people who come back or come in new kind of have this like I get to just run wild.
And with this, I'm gonna run wild, dude.
Yeah.
And with this belt specifically, because this is the women's Intercontinental title, and if you remember, like this, the inaugural title was awarded to Lyra Valkyria, and she fought Dakota Kai for it. So this belt was really supposed to be the belts to elevate the newcomers,
Mhm.
and it really is like quickly become like the legacy female performer belt,
Mhm.
and that continues with AJ Lee. And it's sad because it really speaks to just like a lack of faith in the
And
initial direction.
the new talent.
Right. With so and that's when you ask me like, do you think they're gonna fight at WrestleMania again? I'm like, absolutely I do, because they don't trust anybody in that spot. And so we're going to get AJ and Becky
Oh, I can't say I super disagree, but yeah.
two. Well, I mean, like it's like anything else. It's like you have to give people the platform. It's like you have Lyra and Dakota Kai, and then you give it to Lyra, and then what? Dakota Kai is like fired within
Fired.
like 2 months, and then
Well,
Lyra's kicked off. Like she's basically like kicked into a tag match with Becky.
and there's so much good talent that they're elevating, that they're trying to elevate. Flash would be a perfect contender for this particular belt if they were just trusting like the new talent.
Right. Well, and then you got to take her out of the tag team title
Yeah.
picture. So it's a little bleak right now, honestly,
Yeah.
because Julia did not work out the way that you wanted.
Mhm.
That would be some. I mean, and she's holding the U.S. title strictly because who the fuck else is going to hold it? And like,
Mhm.
there's just a lot of belts like that on the women's side, surprisingly.
Mhm.
Where you're just like they're holding it, but you can't quite shake the feeling that they're just kind of keeping it warm until they really decide what they're going to do with it and like what those divisions look like.
Yeah.
So I think that coming back to AJ and Becky, that if we can kind of break those two out of their feuds, put them in different things, the loser of that match, maybe AJ Lee wants to come back for more time than I'm assuming and be part of the tag team picture. Or like,
Mhm.
I know that they're like warming up the Bella twins,
Oh no, that's right.
but the only
Oh no, I
forgot about
forgot
them,
about
didn't you?
that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They'll be holding gold before you know it.
Ah,
In
Jesus
fact,
Christ.
honestly, and that's probably what's going to be like their
Lash and
post
Naya.
WrestleMania opponent.
Yeah.
So you better start processing that right now because they're going to take the belts off of them.
Well, they will have a different reception in the United States than they will in Saudi Arabia. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so that's where we're at with the women's division. I feel like it was fun. It was fun to see. It's always fun to see AJ Lee. It's always the entrance is always great. It just you wonder what she's actually signed up for
Mhm.
and if it's enough to be able to get something substantial either for herself or for someone that she's working with.
Yeah.
So the only other match that we have, and this could give us like a good entree into the the real WrestleMania main events, is Punk and Balor, like you mentioned. Thought
Mhm.
that was the match of the night. Um, I think the one thing that I really appreciated about this one that honestly it's something that you could even consider bold in like modern wrestling is that they had a world title match, no bullshit, no frills. They had an actual wrestling contest, and they ended up having like the most provocative match of the night.
Mhm.
And I just think it's when you compare that with the men's chamber, and really, when you compare it with just like the main event itis of
Mhm.
WWE, where it's like there's always got to be like a masked man, there always has to be like some shenanigans.
Breath bump.
There's always got to be this like third
Mm,
act where
yeah.
everything goes into disarray and
Yeah.
chaos, and then our winner is determined out of all that.
Mhm.
It's pretty boilerplate at this point.
Yeah.
So the fact that Punk and Balor were able to really utilize that penultimate match slot to be like, that stuff is going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to get that. we're gonna actually just like have a straight up wrestling match,
Mhm.
and we're gonna, we're
Beat
gonna
the shit out of each other.
we're gonna captivate the crowd out of because of it,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go over more than anything that's being like overbooked, overproduced, like that precedes us. And I just thought it was really bold, and I thought it was really awesome. And I think that Phil obviously has like a lot of his detractors. They don't really appreciate the best in the world moniker, but I think for me, that's part of it. It's
Yeah.
just having the confidence to go out there, perform your trade, not rely on smoke and mirrors, and still entertain people and still leave them like with something memorable.
And I respected that because I've never really seen the good of Finn Balor. I've only seen him in
Yeah.
these segments with the Judgment Day that are kind of like repetitive
You've
where
seen him as just like a supporting cast member.
right. I truly like I
Yeah.
have not seen the
You haven't seen, like, his NXT days or,
no.
like, him as the demon, like,
Nope.
I always like, whenever Finn Balor, like, is in a match or in a feud, I feel like I always allude to, like, "Oh, man, it'd be so cool if he brought back the demon," and I can just feel kind of like I have no context for that, I don't know if that is that good, is that bad? Like, it's like, this was really great for you to be able to, like, get your first taste of, like, "No, this guy can really go," and, like, there's a reason why,
It made me sad because it's a waste, you know? It's like I
Yeah,
can't believe this is like one of the first few times I've seen this guy in the ring without someone else,
right.
you know? Like, I think the only times I've ever seen him wrestle have been, like, when he's in a tag team with JD or if
JD.
he's in the Judgment Day and, like, they're all ganging up on somebody. Like, I've never had to focus solely on his match, and,
Yeah.
like, I think that it was really cool because like, I've seen 1,000 CM Punk matches, so I was not tuning Punk out because Punk is really, like, incendiary, but, like, I was really watching Finn Balor
Yeah.
for my own
You know what you're gonna get with Pop.
right.
Like you said, you've seen 1,000 of his matches.
Or, like, the other day when we had the match with Carmelo and Doctor
Wait, let me get this right. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr.
so, like, I was really
That's a
paying
name that gets over.
I've seen Carmelo wrestle a lot, so I was really paying attention to the doc,
Yeah. The son of the doc.
the son of the doc. But yeah, I'm always paying attention to the people that I don't see as often so that like,
Yeah.
I
He's
can
like
get a
Carmelo was wrestling a love sack.
oh my god, it was crazy. I've never seen somebody that's like what I would imagine like if I didn't already know what corpsing meant,
Yeah.
that's what I would think corpsing
It
meant.
was yeah. But it was
Bro was a corpse.
it was like corpsing, but the person was like not trying to corpse.
Right, right.
He's just innately corpsing.
He was weakened at Bernie's.
Do you think Triple H booked that match to be like, "Now I want to see how good Carmelo really is.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can wrestle this futon."
See if Carmelo can make this guy look good. And he just, dude, that was crazy. Sorry, just a quick sidebar. But yeah, no, anyway, Finn Balor and Punk was awesome. It was cool to see a little color too. Like, got to see Punk kind of
A
get
little
lit up.
juice.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Yep.
Um,
More blood than the chamber.
yeah.
What are we doing here?
No, the chamber is usually pretty violent. And I mean, there were very violent moments, but
We've
like,
come a long way from the
I
first
think,
one where
yeah,
Shawn Michaels had the crimson mask and like they had
yeah.
a sledgehammer in the ring. And
And
we've
for
come a
the
long way from that.
For the record, I don't judge a match by how bloody
I
people
don't either,
are.
but the thing is, like, there's just certain matches where it's like with AEW having like Texas Death match
Yeah.
again with MJF and Adam Page. It's just like you keep these match types in the holster and you only bring them out and flip them out every once in a while because that's the requirement and that's kind of the bar of it.
Yeah.
It's you're right. I shouldn't be a barbarian about it, but honestly, it's like if you're telling me it's Hell in the Cell, if you're telling me that it's the Elimination Chamber,
I
if
wanna
you're
see
telling
some
me is that you were going to be settling a feud or like trying to determine a number one contender inside 16 tons of steel, I want somebody to be like bleeding more than the previous match when it was just two dudes in their tights in like the ring.
That's so funny. No, I don't need the blood. I think, like, my exception to this is blood and guts for AEW because, like, if you're gonna have blood and guts, it's in the name. You gotta, they know the
No
assignment.
guts though. Not
Yeah, I don't want to see your guts.
not. They haven't delivered the guts yet.
But for just wrestling in general, like, it's kind of like an extra credit. It's like you're kind of you're showing how dedicated you are to the art of it. What I don't want to see is people get hurt and like
Yeah.
really really fuck themselves up because that's not why I'm watching.
Or when somebody like blades themselves and you can tell that they did it too hard
Or like
and they're like
when the
kind of
blade flies onto the floor and they get it on camera. It's my favorite.
it's right there.
Hey, somebody, ref,
Yeah.
pick that up.
Cameraman.
Definitely need to pick that up before someone gets
Just
slammed.
step on it or something. Don't
Yeah,
shoot it.
I
Yeah.
know.
To your point, it still felt like a more physical match
Yeah.
than the chamber,
Oh,
which
totally.
is weird. It's weird
Well,
because you should have those confines, the unfriendly confines, and then you have the like extra added stakes of like it being your last chance at WrestleMania unless you're Cody Rhodes, and then you just get a match booked for you. So
Can I have like a kind of like an unpopular opinion? When I think back to the men's elimination chamber match,
Mhm.
I feel like there were a handful of wrestlers that delivered really good show. But all in all, hold on,
why don't you just say it? Why don't you just say it?
hold on, I'm not done. I don't think it was good. I don't think it was that good. I think that the whole masked man thing is really exhausting.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm glad Seth Rollins came back. I don't think it was a big enough. I don't think it
You
was
turned to me and you're like, "I can't believe you're cheering so loudly for Seth Rollins." And I was like, "No, no, I'm cheering for like the end of the
the
match."
end of the masked man.
Yeah,
It's not the end.
it's not the end.
They will bring,
Grayson Waller still has to do it.
dude. I think the masked man thing is trash. It has been.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, it was always very obvious, was like behind all of it because of the curb stomping.
Right.
I really was heartbroken for your boy because I
Can I say something to you that might be unpopular?
let me just
Sure.
let me just finish.
Okay.
I really was heartbroken because I have been just waiting and waiting
Mhm.
and waiting for him to show all of us what he's made of. It made me really sad.
Yeah.
It actually made me really sad, and then Randy, like, making fun of him made me really sad,
I
and
didn't even see that until
we
that was a gut punch.
brutal.
By the way, we're talking about LA Knight. Um he
Sorry.
Yeah, he did that move where he jumps from the second rope to the top rope and then does his elbow. The thing is that he nails that move, I would say, like,
20% of the
not
time.
enough. Not enough to be doing it, like, on a national showcase.
Yeah.
Between the Unreal thing, even though I feel like Seth Rollins in that situation in Money in the Bank, like, he was particularly hard on LA Knight, but the fact is that the way they shot the show, they really made LA Knight seem like a dunce who just fucked everything up. I think between that and I think between this, I think it might be over. I think it might be done. I think I'm ready to
No.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
Don't say that.
I'm ready to I might be ready to hang up my
Don't
hat.
say that.
Yeah.
Don't say that. I don't want you to give up on him because I don't wanna give up on him.
What hurt the most was knowing that LA Knight did it to himself, and when he got pinned on a roll up from Logan Paul after that botched elbow drop, I would be disingenuous if I didn't say that, like, it wasn't the right finish for him because it just after that, you just had to get him out of there because not only that is there's different types of botches. There's, like, botches where it's just, like, the audience will let you roll with it.
Yeah.
There's botches where it's like, you fucked up," but it's kind of in, like, a fun, jovial way,
Or,
teasing
like,
way, like
there
the
could
Mercedes Moné thing, you know what I mean? But, like, this was a very much like it was like we saw in the Botchamania clip of the guy and his being like, "He did it again! He did it again!" You gotta get him out of there because that's what I felt too. It was like this guy, LA Knight
uh,
continues to botch in these high profile spots. I genuinely thought there was a chance. Why
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Why not? And then when I saw that, I was just like, there's no fucking way. It's like,
Oh, I
you
wouldn't
have to get him out of the ring now by any means necessary.
it felt like it wasn't the plan. It felt like he would have stayed in the ring and the ref was like, "Get him out of here."
Yeah.
Like, coming directly from Triple H and Gorilla, like, because it happened so fast. I mean, it was like he botched and then he was out.
I do think that Logan was supposed to get the 3 consecutive eliminations because he was in Bronson Reed's spot, and I think that that was what
Yeah.
Bronson was supposed to do, but I do think that there's something to be said about how quickly it happens. Like, I could
Mhm.
definitely see him being like, you're pinning him anyway.
Get him out.
Just do it, you know? So it was a pretty devastating night for the LA Knight. But there was actually a guy that was like full LA Knight cosplay in the
Really?
arena, and I caught him on the way out, like locked eyes with
Oh.
him, and I almost wanted to be like, I didn't have any LA Knight
No,
like
don't
stuff
even.
on, so it's like I didn't want to come off like I was just like chiding him or anything like that, but like there was a part of me that just wanted to like be like I wanted to find like solace in like my grieving brethren in that moment, but I didn't.
No, I really felt for him because again, we've been waiting for him to just do what I know he's capable of.
It might not be done, but I think that it's one of those things where I am no longer waiting on it.
Yeah.
I'm no longer anticipating it. I'm no longer thinking about the timeline. It's just like
It's like you're
if it does happen, it's going to surprise me because
yeah.
I'm no longer cognizant of it.
Yeah.
I
The
can't. I just like
expectations have been lowered.
I can't keep having my heart get broken like
I
this by
know.
not only him but also the creative
I
too. It's like they
know.
trade off, you know?
Oh, totally. And like that's what I've been trying to say is that like I don't think it's just a matter of creative not liking him. I think it's like genuinely like they want to put him over. It's like similar to like Jey Uso. It's like they probably have a lot of people that like love him
Still,
and absolutely sell t-shirts because of
probably
him
a
and
top 5, top 10 merch seller too. It's like all the framework is there, but it's just
oh,
like
when we were at
and the Jey Uso thing, sorry, I don't mean to step on you, but like just very quickly, like the Jey Uso example of like the flame out with him is probably, even though it doesn't involve LA Knight, it's probably like ammunition to use
mhm.
against LA Knight. But sorry, I don't continue.
No, I was just gonna say, like, remember when we first went to Collision
Mm.
and we were walking through, like, the hallways and people were just going, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." Like, people in AEW were all
From
chanting,
multiple levels too.
"Oh,
Like, it
yeah,
wasn't just people, like, a few yards apart. It was just, like, someone upstairs, and you would hear it all in stereo all around
yeah."
you.
And I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, we've been in it for him for so long, and I maybe we just need to miss him a little bit, or maybe he just needs
Yeah,
to
no, I think it actually, like, is a really good case for just but
take a break.
they did that already because he was injured because Bronson Reed, like, shooting out the tsunami down
Oh,
through
yeah.
the car, right? That was the whole point, was that he was supposed to come back in a blaze of glory and take on the Vision, and, I mean, they're locked into that booking now, like, I'm sure they'll have some sort of, like, oh god, it's gonna be like him and Austin Theory.
Dude.
But dude, it's gonna be like, can you really put that in like a WrestleMania card? Like,
No.
no, you have to put that on like the Raw before Mania or like
Yeah.
the Jesus, that's rough, dude.
Well, the
Where
Vision
would you put Austin Theory and LA Knight? Would you I would say like what, the second match on the Raw after Mania? Like it's not gonna be
backlash.
backlash. Feel the backlash.
No, no, the
That show
Vision
should be called Backwash.
backwash, backwater.
The backwash of WrestleMania.
No, I think honestly, that's another thing. It's just like there isn't an aspect of this WrestleMania lead up that isn't like torched. We are out Bronson Reed. We're out Braun Breaker. We're out Bianca and Naomi. We're out.
Right.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Every pairing, like one dance partner has been omitted. I will say though that the two parts of the 4 championship matches that were the plan all along
Mhm.
were CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I do genuinely feel like that was in place from the beginning because they have been setting that up more than
Mhm.
any other permutation. Because you have Punk entering War Games. gaining the trust of like his family members. Everything they're talking about in these promos that they're having, which are really good, I think,
Mhm.
have been established. So you have that, and I do think that Liv Morgan and Stephanie McCare was the plan all along because
Mhm.
they seem like such a natural pairing.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great match. I was a little worried about how they would build and what their chemistry would be like on screen. I was even more concerned when they decided to do kind of like the pre-tape segments.
Oh my
I was like,
god.
wait, do they really need like editing to make this chemistry work? And then we're just hoping to kind of get it to the point where they can both be in the ring and then everything will be fine. It's still kind of all vignettes right now, but I still feel like the ones they've done have been like effective. And I think Liv is doing a lot of the heavy lifting with the
Totally. There is, like, a little bit of a language barrier, so
sure.
it's really hard, I bet, to have them do, like, live segments.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that they're doing kind of more pre-taped stuff and, like, because I think one of the things that bugged me originally was that promo that they did with Dom, the original broadcast, like, didn't have subtitles,
Yeah.
and, like, it just showed, like, Dom kind of quietly translating to Liv, but, like, you couldn't hear it because he was doing it, like, over
Yeah,
what he was
and they
saying.
added them the week after in the replays. So they obviously thought the same thing we
Right.
did,
Yeah.
which is that we need to
But that's,
bring
like
more people into what's happening here.
you have to have people that pre-think about this instead of just pulling AEW and just be like, "Yeah, I'm just."
Well, it's interesting that you say AEW because that's what I was thinking too. Is like of these 4 championship matches, this one definitely is like the most AEW. Where
Yeah.
it's just I don't really know what you have planned in order to get me excited about this, but I can tell you that you don't really need to do much.
Right.
You guys are going to be great in the ring. I'm just excited about being able to see it, and
Yeah.
then I'm already in just based off of that. The build to me doesn't really matter. So I
Right.
think that that's probably one of whereas like the build with like Rhea and Jade like really matters because like
There's
it's
no connection
it's just like their spheres haven't
crossed
touched
over.
in the entire time. Jade is very green, but I will say what I did like is that Jade did not seem like she was small in that moment
Yeah.
standing next to Rhea. She seemed like she belonged there in the ring with her, but even still, you are worried about one of the most solid performers that they have with the company working with someone who is still a lot of potential. We've seen her on the big stage. We've seen her like with Naomi at WrestleMania. We've seen her with Tiffany at SummerSlam. We haven't seen her like, no, you're opening the show,
Mhm.
which is what this would be. I would imagine this would probably be like
The opener.
the first match you're going to see on WrestleMania weekend. So
Yeah.
I mean, like that's a big spot, and so that you really have to, even for that sake, you have to build this well and give this a credible story. Whereas with this, it's like, man, I don't care. Like I'm so ready to just like pull up and just like watch these two wrestle for 25 minutes as the sun goes down. Like I'm ready for it, man. Like on the whole, like the matches are, it's a better crop than I think we had last year. So I think it's a promising end to it, but I'm still worried about kind of where we have to go still. I think if you look at other matches that will fill the card, you mentioned Finn Balor. I think him and Dominic Mysterio is probably slated. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. That seems like like
No, really?
I don't think that was the plan, but I think it's like, okay, well, how do we get Seth Rollins in a match that puts him in direct line with Paul Heyman? Because that's the story. So it's like,
Logan Paul.
I mean,
He's the only one left.
I know that he's the only one left, but it's just like, but Paul Heyman also kind of does this free agent advocacy of Brock Lesnar when he comes out, and I just kind of
Ugh.
based on their booking that they've done so far, where it's just like we're just getting big names together, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Rollins in the open
They're
challenge.
not gonna give us I don't want anything with Brock Lesnar, but they're not gonna give us what we really truly want, which is Obafemi and Brock.
Obafemi, yeah, and we don't
Yeah.
have, and like like Gunther was supposed to be an opponent for him at some point, and
Oh god. Well,
but
who's Gunther gonna
Gunther is the most baffling one, because it's just like he retired the biggest star in the company's well, it's for their modern day, like, rewriting of everything, their hagiography, like, he's the GOAT, he's the biggest star they've ever had. It's debatable if you're over the age of 30, but, considering that's, like, the kayfabe narrative, it's so weird to, like, not know at all where he's going, and it could be exciting, but it also could be just, like, it doesn't feel like a road to WrestleMania, I think it's probably. It feels like kind of like a
Drunk
scatter.
driving.
Yeah, it feels like a swerve. It's like a careening into WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. Okay, we're here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
No.
here and we rolled the car 7 times and we're still alive.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
definitely.
that's probably the best way to put it, and we hope that maybe that changes. But right now, I feel the turbulence. I'm a little concerned. I obviously am looking forward to it. I look forward to it every year, but this one I felt like they had to nail because you need to reverse the trend of at least the perception of a lull. So I hope they can do that in the time that they're given, and we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But, um, we
Food.
didn't even talk about Danhausen.
I know. Well, I've been trying to talk about Danhausen. I
Alright,
want to
we're
talk.
gonna have a Danhausen epilogue, okay? So, but how do we forget about Danhausen? You know what?
I didn't. I've been waiting to kind of slide it in, but
Let me explain why I feel like I overlooked it. 2 reasons. 1, because in the building and even leading up to it, when you told me that it was the prevailing opinion that Danhausen was in the crate, I was just I was incredulous. I was just like, I just can't envision that being the case because I just don't think it'll work. I don't think that like WWE fans are not like ironic wrestling fans, or at least there's not as much of a contingent of them as there is in AEW. There's like
yeah.
a cheekiness to like the AEW fan base, even though they consider themselves to be like the sickos. With WWE fans, it's like they are really entrenched in like the lore and the then and the now and forever and the prestige of it all. And it just like I didn't know if this was going to connect. But I think it's going to connect, man. Like it's just like I think that at the chamber he got like I wouldn't even call it like a zero reaction. It was just kind of like just confusing. Like was that who was that? Was that on purpose? Was that part of the show?
Is
Even
this
though the production was great and even though the backup dancers and the song and everything, it all was lending to his character, but with Raw and with SmackDown in these 2 segments, I think they really might have something here, and I think that's because unlike their WrestleMania card, they had a actual strategy of how to, like, lay out what this guy's angle was, and I think they've done it, and I'm excited for Danhausen now in WWE, and I didn't think that would be the case like a week after he debuted to like confused jeers.
I mean, I love the like for me, having like an old school horror callback kind of person is like just right up our alley.
It's a
Like
lane that really isn't filled.
no, and at all. Like
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Tony Storm in a way,
Nah, I would say
but
that's like golden era of Hollywood TNC kind of
yeah,
thing. Yeah, it's
it's different. But like
this
with
is Ed Wood,
this
like
is yeah, this is different. This is like uncharted territory, and I didn't see Danhausen when he was at AW, so I know of him, and I know of him because Punk posts about him a lot. Like
yeah.
they're buddies because they have like a lot in common in terms of like comic book
I
stuff
love your
and
theory that Punk hijacked the booking of Elimination Chamber because the more
oh
that I think about it, I'm just like, his wife won the
oh
international.
Danhausen was 100% Punk's pitch. Like he would not be there without Punk.
It's so funny.
He would not be there without Punk. There's no way
It's
they would hire
probably the
him.
case, but it's also just like
No,
all the things that you could
John.
use your clout to get across the goal line, like Danhausen is like probably the
No,
funniest thing.
I am telling you, there would not be Danhausen without Punk having some say in the writers' room.
I'm not gonna dispute it.
I have never been so confident
Yeah.
in anything that I've ever
Do we get
predicted.
that in the Unreal season 3 of him just in the writers' room, like
Begging them.
not even begging, just like these are my demands.
Yeah. Oh yeah, completely. And like
My wife wins the Intercontinental Championship, and then Danhausen comes
CM
in.
Rollins.
And then and then Seth has to change his name back to Colby.
Oh my God, me and the guy behind us.
The guy behind us, the
We were,
guy to the right of us.
I,
I was looking around for the reaction.
we were all like, oh my God, Jericho's going to come out of that box. We were so ready for that old
Yeah.
fuck to come out of the box. And we were chanting, like excited for Jericho to come out of the box.
When I turned to you in the moment when they opened the crate and it revealed a coffin, and I was just like, this doesn't rule out Jericho.
Yeah, yeah.
It could still be Jericho. A coffin would still be like a fitting
Oh, totally.
visual.
But yeah, no, I think his 2 promos that he's had on Raw and SmackDown have been, like, delightful, and the fact that he's gonna now, on SmackDown, I think, be paired up with The Miz. I know most people will probably roll their eyes at this, but, like, I could
I
not.
think he's gonna float, man.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think he's gonna float.
yeah, I think he's, like, a little, like, magical,
Yeah,
like, force
yeah.
that's gonna.
And we talked about it on Raw with the title change for Dom, but just how smart it was. Let me give WWE a little credit here for like, we've been sitting here concerned trolling their booking for the last like 2 hours, but I'll give them a little credit here. Like them actually establishing the conceit of his character with a substantial title change
Yeah, it was a
was
good move.
super smart because now that curse has weight. And when something has weight, it stays in the mind of the viewer and people now understand like what your deal is. And like they solved for the problem of Saturday night, which
Right.
is like, who is this twerp? And more importantly, what's his fucking deal?
Why are you putting him in front of me
It's
right
like the
now?
crow where his tension's like, the fuck are you all painted up for, crackhead?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, and they saw, and they posed that question, they left them with that question on Saturday, and then they solved and answered it on Monday, and it's just like one of the rare examples of like efficient storytelling that this company usually just does not exhibit. Usually it's roundabout and it's so elongated that by the time they get to the point where they can actually pay it off, someone gets injured and they have to change the whole fucking thing, and it makes you wonder if they even knew what they were doing in the first place, and that's why they have a reality show to try to prove to you that they do. And
Oh, we come up with this stuff weeks and weeks in advance and years in advance.
here's a chart. Okay, here's who I talked to. And so,
Danhausen is going to be the twerp to save WrestleMania.
we didn't. I guarantee right now, he will have one of the biggest moments in the show.
Maybe he's gonna curse Cody Rhodes.
I would keep going. Yes, I would. That's what I'm saying is like I would keep going with this. I would not have him like just wallow around in like the Miz pool. I would have him just like actually touch higher profile talent because if you're getting a groundswell with someone, just keep going with it. Doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if like he doesn't read as like, you're a top guy.
He's
It's like
more interesting than a masked man, that's for sure.
top guy only means that I'm drawing eyes and I'm drawing dollars and I'm drawing merch. And it's like
Mhm.
and he's able to do both. So for all three of those things, as long as you make people understand like what his deal is. And like
Mhm.
that was the cool part about the Danhausen thing was that one, that they did it, and then two, that they like had enough faith in the concept because it didn't seem something that just like it seemed like anathema to what WWE is like trying to present itself as right now. But what they've been trying to present themselves as right now hasn't been working. And it's like they're like maybe we need a little bit of a different sauce. So
I think it'll be fun to watch, as long as, like I said, and again, they feed off the fans. So if the fans like it and the fans have been giving them positive reinforcement, then they will like do shit like that with Danhausen.
and I wouldn't say right now that and maybe you're different, but I wouldn't say that I'm at like the love that Danhausen stage.
I might be there.
I'm in that intrigued by Danhausen stage.
Well, I watched it.
Like that Danhausen.
We were watching an interview with him yesterday, and I think,
I really liked that interview a lot.
yeah, I didn't get through all of it, but I think the guy behind the character is really cool
And he
too.
knows his shit too. Like
Yeah.
it's not one of these things where it's like, oh, I just do this goofy shit. It's just like,
Yeah.
no, it's like he's an actual student of the game, and he was citing like all this kind of his like wrestling history, and it was just like
He kind of presents as a clown, but then, the real guy
he
behind
seems
it
like a real business minded guy,
totally.
Like it's so like I'm just and I guess I just that extra perspective. Maybe that's why he aligns so well with him because he's more kind of business minded, and maybe that's why Punk really enjoys him.
He is the Robin to CM Punk's Batman. I have a feeling like they might work together. They
That's
actually
bold.
they
That's
actually might
bold.
work together.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that one goes. Thank you for not letting me for unwittingly like bypassing Danhausen because that would have been malfeasance for wrestling podcasts in
Yeah.
like the last couple weeks to recap to not
No, it's
mention that.
okay. There's a lot. I mean,
Thank you for saving me from myself.
we we've been doing episodes like what, bi-weekly or bi-monthly? I feel like the
We do them monthly, so I would say like I think realistically having something for you guys within like every 3 to 4 weeks is probably at this stage the most realistic. We got a lot of changes going on here behind the scene, behind the curtain and gorilla, so to speak. And
we're gonna have a baby during WrestleMania, so
right, right. So I
we'll
think
try to report record a couple podcasts
we're
with my
probably going to be
infant
in
daughter.
we're probably going to be in the hospital with her in the bassinet, watching like on an iPad in the room, like 5 minutes at a time. So, but in spite of that, we're still really excited for this time of year, and we're really excited to share our thoughts with you. And we're so excited that you join us. And we look forward to doing it again, and we look forward to having you join us next time. So, enjoy the road to the scattered cobblestone plot to WrestleMania. I don't want to call it a road.
Yeah.
It's more of just kind of like a broken shale scattered piecemeal all over the ground that we're all hopping on and trying not to muddy our boots on.
Let's just call it WrestleMania-Hausen.
I think it's a perfect way to have it to end it. WrestleMania-Hausen. All right. Thanks again, and we will talk to you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.